Is Napoleon Hill legit? What a great question. Hey there, my friend. This is Paul Hutchings with PipelineMoney.com. And in this video, I want to address this question that's commonly asked on the internet. Is Napoleon Hill legit? Napoleon Hill is an American author who wrote one of the best-selling personal development books of all time called Think and Grow Rich. And like any person who attains a certain level of status, fame, notoriety, Napoleon Hill has his fair share of critics and haters. So what I want to do in this video is answer this question to the best of my ability, share my personal story with Napoleon Hill in the hopes that you can get the answer to the question that you're looking for. Is Napoleon Hill worth reading? Is he worth studying? Is he worth basing some of the thinking and decisions that you build your life upon? Really, really great question to think about. So first off, Voltaire said, if you wish to converse with me, define your terms. So legit, if you look up legit on the internet, one of the most applicable definitions to this specific use case, I believe, is extremely good. So the question is Napoleon Hill extremely good? And specifically, we're referring to the writings of Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill is no longer on this earth, so we've got his writings left to work with. So we're wondering if his writings are extremely good. So I want to just share with you how I discovered Napoleon Hill. I was living in a single-wide mobile home, had graduated from college, was newly married, and working a job in a cubicle earning $11.09 an hour. One of my best friends in the cubicle next to me, a guy named Arnold from Burundi, Africa, one day came into my cubicle and dropped some CDs on my desk, and he said, "Paul, have you heard of this guy?" And I said, "No, I haven't." I looked down, the CDs were done by a man named Jim Rohn, and the title of the CDs was The Art of Exceptional Living. Jim Rohn was a guy from Idaho who started out poor and met a mentor named Earl Schoaf and applied what Earl taught him and went on to become a multimillionaire and one of the greatest public speakers of all time. Jim Rohn was actually also a personal mentor to Anthony Robbins. If you know who Anthony Robbins is, Anthony Robbins worked for Jim Rohn early on in his career. So in this specific audio CD set, The Art of Exceptional Living, Jim Rohn listed some books. He was talking about the importance of reading. And he was talking about, I believe, one of the things his mentor was teaching him. And he said this phrase, "Think and Grow Rich" by Napoleon Hill. Doesn't that title intrigue you? Think and Grow Rich. Don't you need to read that book? Think and Grow Rich. So I first learned about Napoleon Hill from a multi-millionaire. I was living in a trailer house at the time. I thought, wow, maybe I should follow some of the advice that this multi-millionaire is giving me. So I went out and got the book Think and Grow Rich. I read it once, I tossed it on my shelf and didn't think about it again until a few years later when I found myself jobless, literally jobless, living in this trailer. It's my second youngest son. His name is Kyson. And when he was born, he was diagnosed with a head condition called craniosynostosis, which meant the bones in his head were fused together. And it was going to require $50,000 surgery down at Primary Children's Hospital. So long story short, I was in a place of desperation. I found myself in the back room of this mobile home, putting two of my kids to bed, my business not working, the income not coming in, our savings dwindling, and I realized that I was failing as a husband and a father and a provider. Now, mind you, I'd read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill 4 years earlier. Well, at this point, I was humble. I dropped to my knees and I literally prayed to God a very sincere prayer. And that prayer was, please help me find a way out of this situation. I just want to be able to provide for my family. Can you please help me find a way? Well, one of the inspirations that came to me from that prayer was that I needed to begin a very serious study of the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, I'd read the book before, but I was inspired to not just read the book, but to study the information, mark the passages that stuck out to me, fold down the corners of the pages where there was an action step, and actually not just read the book, but apply what it was teaching. So one of the things that Napoleon Hill teaches in that book is that you should have a definite purpose for your business and your life even, and also that you want to build confidence in yourself. And he has a self-confidence formula along with a definite purpose statement. So what I did was I wrote out on a sheet of paper this major definite purpose and this self-confidence statement. And every night outside my home, per Napoleon Hill's instructions, I would walk up and down my driveway beneath the Idaho stars, proclaiming this definite purpose. By the last day of 2009, I will have in my possession, and then I would insert the amount of money that I wanted to obtain via my business. And then I would go through the self-confidence formula. First, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life, right? On and on. And what happened for me was I went from a state of failing and struggling in my business for years, which perhaps was a result of the inner state of lack of confidence, lack of self-belief, lack of faith. I went from that state through following Napoleon Hill's instructions to a state of faith. Jim Rohn also said one of the things that people sometimes say is that faith is not real because you can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't smell it. Jim Rohn said that that would be a mistake because it's like radiation. Radiation you can't see, you can't touch, you can't smell, but it has an effect. And Jim Rohn said faith is like that. It has an effect. And so through the teachings of Napoleon Hill, I had a major transformation. And within about 6 months of following his instructions to the letter, not only did I have an inner transformation where I stepped into faith, but I also had an outer transformation. And that financial goal that I'd been going after for 4 years of my life finally manifested almost to the penny. This was the end of a long road of failure, and it was the beginning of a long road of success and contribution. So I was able to earn the income that my family needed for myself. Went on to have quite a bit of success in my various business enterprises. I've got a few pictures here. This is where we started in this single-wide mobile home. I went on to become the #1 income earner in the company that I was promoting at the time. I went on to speak on various stages all throughout the United States of America. Went on to start and co-found a company that I've been building with a great business partner and friend of mine for about 6 years now. And we're having quite a bit of success in this company. Our company right now is generating over $250,000 per month in revenue. Now, of course, we've got a disclaimer. Average affiliates can expect to earn $347,000 with this business. For full earnings disclosure, visit income.thehba.net. But we've actually paid out over $2.7 million to affiliates throughout the world with this business model. Now, why is all of this relevant to this question? Is Napoleon Hill legit? Well, probably more than anyone, Napoleon Hill's teachings fill my mind and my heart and help me and my business partner and many members in our community orient our minds in such a way that we move forward in a state of faith and we're able to accomplish things and we're able to do things in life. We're able to make good decisions. We're able to think like wealthy people think. And that's a great thing to be aware of, is that wealthy people do tend to think and act in certain ways. Napoleon Hill archived and detailed in one place some really great thoughts to consider as far as how wealthy people think versus how poor people think. And so my answer to this question, is Napoleon Hill legit? In other words, is Napoleon Hill, are his writings good or extremely good? Based on the results that I've been able to see in my business and also the results that people who work with me are able to see in their businesses, I would say absolutely yes, Napoleon Hill is legit. Now, does it mean Napoleon Hill is perfect? No, nobody's perfect, right? Napoleon Hill's not perfect. He had his faults. He had his weaknesses. He made mistakes. And if you really study his writings, you'll see that he would freely admit that he wasn't perfect and that he did make mistakes. So the critics out there of Napoleon Hill love to highlight maybe his faults or the mistakes that he made while ignoring the tremendous reservoir of wisdom and faith and upliftment and encouragement and better thinking that can be had through a diligent study of his writings. So that's my answer to the question, is Napoleon Hill legit? I really hope that this has been beneficial to you. I actually have a resource if you're open. I have a collection of PDFs from Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, The Laws of Success, and also another set of digital resources that have been a great help to me on my personal journey, and also a great help to our community. Our community definitely is guided by Napoleon Hill's writings, as well as a few other writings that are mixed in there. And we've put together what we like to call the Mastermind Collection. And if you're interested in becoming an even more serious student of Napoleon Hill, I'd love to invite you to get access to our Mastermind Collection below. I'll have the link right below this video. So you can click the link below this video, put your name and email in, you'll get access to the Mastermind Collection, or you can visit growrichmastermind.com. That's growrichmastermind.com. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for doing research on people and writings that can help you become a better person, a more powerful person, unleash more of the power that's already inside of you. Kudos to you. High five. Keep up the good work, and would really love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. Thanks for watching, and whatever you do, always go for your dreams. Take care, and bye for now.